Namaskar, welcome back. Earlier this week, the trailer launch of the movie The Bengal Files was disrupted badly in Kolkata because some people had a problem with the subject of the movie. The Bengal Files is based on the Calcutta killings around the Direct Action Day. Few days ago, the Kerala story, the movie which focuses on radicalization and turning innocent young women into terrorists and ISI wives, was criticized because it managed to bag 2 national awards. Earlier, we have all seen the kind of responses, whether it is the Udaipur files, the Kashmir files, Bahattar Hure and similar stories which attempt to display the harsh, the dark realities of our country, our society. So, on Media Scan this weekend, why are filmmakers and movies targeted for depicting the harsh realities of the country? We have a distinguished panel to take us down the subject this weekend, but before that, take a look at what we are talking about. So, with that quick brief, allow me to connect to our guest for the evening. I have here with me in the DD studios, Shantanu Gupta, well-known author. It is interesting to add that his book on Yogi Adityanath, Chief Minister of Uttar Pradesh, has just been turned into a movie. Also joining us, well-known director, filmmaker Sudipto Sen. You all know him as the director and producer of the movie The Kerala Story that we have all seen recently. Welcome, Dada. And I'd like to come to Sudipto Sen first. Dada, congratulations for the fact that the Kerala Story has managed to bag 2 prestigious national awards. However, we saw some very harsh comments soon after the awards were announced, and coming from no less than, someone as high as sitting on a constitutional post like the Chief Minister of Kerala. Why do you think your movie has invited such harsh comments even after it made such good business at the box office? It was appreciated all around.
First of all, about the criticism, criticism is very good, and I always welcome criticism for the work we do, because we do really hard work. For Kerala Story, trust me, it is almost like 9 years of research work is been behind the film, and in these 9 years, almost like we met almost 3,000 girls. And when censor board asked for the proof for the film, I submitted more than 2 hours of video footage and more than 200 pages of the documents. And only after that I got the censor certificate. And interestingly, censor did not cut a single frame of the film. I emphasize, not a single frame of the film after going through the documents. So I stand by every word spoken in the film. I stand by every visual shown in the film. This is one. Now,
no. So what is your response to the criticism?
No, I am coming to that.
Dada, if I may intervene, to be more specific, people, including the Chief Minister, have said that your movie is blatant propaganda.
I am coming to the Chief Minister point. Now, my film has a seed in 2010. 2010, the then Kerala Chief Minister, Comrade V.S. Achyutanandan, came to Delhi to have a press conference where he said that Kerala is under the tremendous threat of Islamic fundamentalism, and in next
Yes.
20 years, Kerala will be turned into an IC state.
Yes.
Now, there was a backlash in Kerala at that time, and who is the person who supported the then Chief Minister? Is today's Chief Minister, Comrade Pinarayi Vijayan. Now, Pinarayi Vijayan, if you search
So you are saying that Pinarayi Vijayan has gone back on his stance, he has retracted his own position.
The time when Pinarayi Vijayan was saying, supporting that Kerala is under threat of Islamic terrorism, today he is exactly saying the opposite thing about my film. Now, I am not a politician, so if a politician, a chief minister can change his version, change his vision, I cannot do that.
Okay,
So,
okay. Allow me to come to
him.
Shantanu Gupta and we'll come back to you on the same subject. Shantanu Gupta, I think it's a good point to begin our conversation here. Mr. Sen is saying that not only has Pinarayi Vijayan criticized the awards backed by the Kerala story, but interestingly, he had supported the same argument at one time, which he has retracted now. What do you think is the politics involved here, and why would the CM be going back on his own old position?
In fact, in my book that you mentioned, The Monk Who Became Chief Minister, I have mentioned a chapter on love jihad, and where I have categorically mentioned that how the left Chief Minister and Congress Chief Ministers in the House, in the Assembly, mentioned about a phenomena similar to love jihad happening with the Christian community in Kerala. But when the movie came, they said, oh my God, that may not be very conducive to my vote bank, let me be away. And this is not new, Smitaji. From Jawaharlal Nehru's time, when you remember Balraj Sahani and Majnu Sultanpuri wrote that famous poem, Commonwealth Ka Das Hai Nehru, and they were jailed. Can you imagine? Not even banning or CBFC censor, not alone, they were jailed. So I think books and movies are a very strong medium to communicate, and politicians get very jittery.
So what do you think riles them?
Riles them that this will go against my vote bank. What if my vote bank, which favors me, will change their mind? Because see, movies reaches large number of people.
I'm sorry, but that begs a question.
Yeah.
Do you really think movies or discussion over movies does influence people's voting character?
I'm sure. See, it does change their behavior for sure. I see. We learn through books. We learn through a lot of video content, and video content is far more easy. If my book is read by 2 lakh people, movie will be viewed by 2 crore people, right? So, movie is for sure a larger medium to reach out people. That's why, can you imagine, we have movies for Mughal-e-Azam to everyone. But Mumbai, which makes the movie, doesn't have a full-fledged Hindi movie on Chhatrapati Shivaji, which is very strange. A Jhansi Ki Rani movie on Jhansi Ki Rani has to be made when Narendra Modi is the Prime Minister. So, where were all these topics? Savarkar is never made. You can make a pro-Savarkar movie, anti-Savarkar movie, but no, I will not even say Savarkar. So, a lot of these topics which were like in front of us, but they were never made into movies, and which are only coming last 10 years, right? So, this is very interesting.
Are you saying that lot of subjects of related to our politics, our national history remained untouched completely till Narendra Modi came to power?
Exactly. See, like these 2 movies, Direct Action Day. When did it happen? 1948, 1940, 46, 47, right? Why it had to wait 70 years? There is no even passing reference of that in any movie. Second, Kashmir Files, when happened? 87, 88.
Yes.
Why the movie have to make today? Jhansi Ki Rani happened like 150 years back. Movie have to make today. Chhatrapati Shivaji, no Hindi movie.
Never.
Now there is a Hindi movie coming, right? Tanaji happened 150 years back. Gadar. So why such movie has to be made today? Because that narrative is very uncomfortable for the other political dispensation. It shows them in wrong light. And that's the truth. Because earlier through Doordarshan, earlier there was only Doordarshan. Now, even if Doordarshan doesn't show, there are thousands of other channels will show. Now, a YouTuber will come and say, okay, I'm showing it.
Yes.
So, everybody who has this mobile is a journalist today. So, in today's world, hiding any content, any truth is very, very difficult. And the old kind of dispensation is very uncomfortable with it.
Okay, let's ask the filmmaker also about the same thing. Sudipto Sen, is it a fact that chapters of our history, our freedom struggle, our national episodes, such as the Direct Action Day on which Bengal Files is based, or even Veer Savarkar, who is one of our celebrated
such a beautifully made movie.
Freedom fighters.
Such a beautifully made movie.
And subjects like Kashmir, which happened in the 80s, nobody was ready to touch these subjects till Narendra Modi or this government came to power. Do you agree?
Shantanu rightly said that it is uncomfortable. The truth is uncomfortable, and the history of last 75, 78 years is as a history where every reality of our life, of our history, of our sociology, of our politics are being in a kind of a concealed truth. They decided that this part of the thing you will watch, this part you will not watch. And whoever has tried to cross that line are being punished in many ways. Now, for example, that direct action day in Bengal. Now, Mamata Banerjee has nothing to do with my Kerala story or Bengal Files. She has nothing to do with that.
Correct.
But you have to understand that Mamata Banerjee's government survive on the Muslim vote. Now, in Kerala, Pinarayi Vijayan's government depends on survives on the Muslim vote. Now, Muslim vote, that is 32% in Kerala, Muslim vote either go to Congress or go to Kerala.
Left.
The year Muslims vote to Congress government come to the power. The year it goes to the Communist Party, it goes to the Communist Party. Government is made by Communist Party. Now, it is all about appeasement. So, our history of last 78 years is the appeasement politics of the political parties. The situation changed after 10 years when it has been understood that by appeasing a particular community, this community is actually thrown into the dungeon. Now Muslims are also started feeling that they are being used as a vote tool. And that is the reason in every election, for 2014, 2019, Muslims vote has come to this government. I am not a politician, so I will not be able to get into all the breakdown.
Yes.
But I can easily tell you that this is the golden period we got to tell the truth, which was been concealed or brushed off under the carpet.
Perfect, perfect. Since we are, please make your point.
Yeah, this is the right time for our civilization to understand, because history is extremely, whether I made a good film or bad film, whether Vivek made a good film or bad film, that is a completely different discussion. If it is a bad film, people will not watch.
Right.
But history must be told, history must be understood, and history should be the perspective of our future course of action.
Fine, but it is also, yes, Dada, but it's also a fact that while it is true someone may make a very good movie or may not make one, but it's a fact that the Kashmir Files, the Kerala stories the Kerala story, these two movies at least I must say, have done very well at the box office. People went in big crowds to watch them.
Because let us touch the right chord. When Kashmir File was released, nobody believed that a film based on this kind of historical subject could make a 300 crore film.
Right. Since we are on sensitive subjects, Dada, allow me. So while we are on the subject of harsh issues, harsh realities, let us listen to the team which made the Bengal Files. And I would like to add here that when this disruption was created in Kolkata, it was not even a launching of the movie, it was just a trailer launch, and wires, electric connections were cut off. The police arrived in big numbers in order just to stop the launching of a trailer.
फिल्म देखने के बाद सबसे अधिक खुश बंगाली ही होने वाला है। बंगाल की जो ग्रेट रेनेसॉ की जो हिस्ट्री है, बंगाल का जो ग्रेट हेरिटेज है, आप देखिए ट्रेलर में एक डायलॉग है, कहती जमीन का टुकड़ा नहीं, ये इंडिया का लाइट हाउस है। मैं जिस चीज को इंडिया के लाइट हाउस की तरह प्रेजेंट कर रहा हूं, उसको अगर वो लोग बैन करेंगे तो पांव पे कुल्हाड़ी मारने जैसा होगा। मुझे कश्मीर फाइल्स बना के इतनी दिक्कत नहीं हुई थी जितनी मुझे बंगाल फाइल्स बना के हो रही है। पर मैं समझता हूं वो अपने वोट बैंक को अपीज करने के लिए मुझ पर अटैक कर रहे हैं, लेकिन जिस लोअर लेवल पे जाके वो लोग कर रहे हैं।
I want every person in India to watch this film to know the truth about Bengal. किसी भी एक्टर को, किसी भी फिल्म मेकर को एक रिस्पेक्ट देना स्टेट की रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी होती है, और ये आज से नहीं, ये सदियों से चलता रहा है। इस स्टेट में देखिए क्या हो रहा है। Is this any freedom of expression? As actors, as filmmakers, we are not being able to screen what we've made. इतना क्या थ्रेट लग रहा है उनको एक फिल्म से लेके? This is absolutely incorrect. ऐसी चीज तो भैया कश्मीर में भी नहीं हुई, हम तो कश्मीर में भी जाके शूट करके आए थे। तो क्या मतलब कहते हुए भी लग रहा है that कश्मीर की हालत शायद बंगाल से बेहतर है?
Okay, so that was Vivek Ranjan Agnihotri, the filmmaker of the Bengal Files, and well-known actress Pallavi Joshi, both of them pointing out the fact that even though there were political protests and statements, they did not receive the kind of backlash that the Bengal Files is witnessing. Shantanu Gupta, why do you think this is so?
I think it's not the people of Bengal that are riled, it's the government of Bengal that's riled. And as Sudipta rightly said, it's directly targeting their vote bank, and also this is a theatrics from their side. It's not that people will not be able to watch the trailer. Trailer is all over internet and it's getting millions and millions of views. So anyway, in that hall, how many? 300, 400 people can come.
Yes.
So it's the theatrics to show to their voters, see, we can go to that extent to save your narrative, right? People will watch the movie. If it will not come in, let's say if they not allow it in Bengal. Right?
If it comes to that.
Yeah, if it's come legally, they cannot do that. But again, maybe they can threaten the private theatre owners, right? That's the maximum they can do. But people can watch on OTT, on YouTube. They can come out of the state. People will watch it, right? And as I was hearing Vivek ji is a good friend, that he has shown Bengal is a great light, which is a lighthouse of India. Again, as Sudipta rightly said, I think they are kind of guarding the narrative, their vote bank, and trying to see, oh, my police fellow can go to that extent that we will not even allow the trailer, let alone the movie. We will plug out the wires, physically damage and almost harass the filmmakers and the artists. So, this is reminding of the Nehru era, which they jailed Balraj Sahni and Mazdoor Saldanpuri. But bad times, bad times.
Not to talk of the emergency, when many artists who were not ready to cow down were almost sort of, deplatformed across Akashvani and various other places. However, just one more question, Shantanu Gupta, very quickly. Let's come to the subject of the Bengal Files. Apart from what the government or the protests, etc. It talks about Direct Action Day, which witnessed, around that time, Bengal witnessed one of the worst massacres of history. But it also talks about the resilience of people, Hindus particularly, who rose up to protect their, their generations. Otherwise, they might have been even wiped out. It was so violent. So, why do you think the Bengal Files should not be screened? Because it shows a part of our history where, and I'm told that the movie also talks about it. I have yet to watch the movie. That the movie also says that situation in Bengal today is not too different. The violence may not be that bad, but the brewing of the situation on the demographic change is not too different from 46.
We have seen in last couple of years during elections what kind of violence and multiple districts where demography is changing, what kind of people can't even celebrate their festivals. See, when I talk about partition, people think it's only Punjab border, right?
Yeah.
It's erased from our minds that partition happened on two borders. So, and it was like a direct action day, it was called off, police were called off 3-4 days, it was like go amok, kill the Hindus and tell this chilling message to them that if you live here, right, with Muslims, this is what we'll face, right? And this part of the history has to be shown, that what exactly happened here. Not even a passing reference came in many movies. We have seen in Gandhi that how Gandhiji went and made everyone calm. But there are a lot of things happened before that. Those 4 or 5 days were chilling history, and I'm sure Vivek ji must have shown that. So I think this is uncomfortable for many people, and uncomfortable truth is difficult to come by. I think that's what Vivek ji must have shown.
Sudipta Sen, 2 quick questions. One, do you think these kind of protests where even a trailer will not be allowed to be launched and police is there not to let it happen is going to discourage other filmmakers, younger people who would like to dwell into sensitive and harsh subjects which are necessary to be shown? And secondly, yes.
What Vivek has experienced, exactly the same thing happened with my film. So
yes.
if seeing the things happened with my film, same police entered the cinema hall, it has been as Supreme Court has cleared the film, but Bengal government unofficially banned the film. They threatened the cinema hall not to show Kerala story, and as Shantanu said, people already seen the film. So this tokenism by Mamata Banerjee and her government to show that I am so pro-Muslim.
Yeah.
If that did not deceive Vivek to do the same thing, that means it will continue, because we are not here.
Yes.
I know. We
Yes.
have to tell the truth. We have to tell, live with my history. That history cannot be died down unless it reaches to the basic element of our society. So it will continue.
Before I let you go, Sudipta Sen, a very quick query here. it's one thing for political people to protest and raise objections, but there are all kinds of unions and associations of producers, film workers in the industry. How do you look at their role when a situation like this comes up?
In one word, I would say pathetic, because the whole industry, I will not get into the detail, but the whole industry is run by the Islamo-leftist mindset, and being part of that Islamo-leftist mindset, we survive with lot of danger, with lot of question marks. So it is our constant struggle. No matter your film made 400 crore or 500 crore, our everyday struggle is on. So the associations are like a paper tiger. They don't play their role. They don't stand by me. They don't stand by Vivek. They don't stand by the people who tries to talk about the nation, who are the filmmakers, the artists, technicians like us.
Right.
And as a result, my writer do not get any work. Even I will not spare this government also, that my lead actress Ada Sharma do not get work from the production companies because she acted in Kerala story. She was not been even invited by IFI. She was not been invited by IFI even.
Okay. We'll come to that. Let me get a take from Shantanu on this. Shantanu Gupta, it's one thing to get national awards, but you know that this is, I mean, stars and our actresses and directors, it's a vocation for them.
Exactly.
If they are targeted so badly and the industry doesn't give them any more opportunities or chances, how do you think they are going to survive? And after all, I mean, all these movies are cleared by the CBFC. They have been given the necessary certification. How can anybody stop them?
See, we have seen that in academia, in publishing industry, in movies, there is a certain kind of like a thought process which is very left leaning, right? So any director, any actor, any technician who has worked in such movies, we have seen what Anupam Kherji have faced, we have seen what Sujita Da might be facing, or Vivek, they are kind of like kept away, right? Even to editing studios, they struggle, like which editing studio will take a movie. And one commentary on, because you're doing such a candid conversation, I think remnants of that control freakiness is still remained in CBFC also, in censor board also. We have seen a movie on emergency horse to struggle with CBFC, a movie with a BJP MP, with a movie with Suresh Gopi, a BJP MP from Kerala, Janki versus state of Kerala has to be in CBFC. Struggle with CBFC. The movie which we are working on, Ajay, the untold story of Stogie, struggling in court. So I think the remnants of this control is still with the censor. In fact, we should not even call it the censor. It's a certification board, not a censor board. So I think creators have to face, if they clear CBFC, then governments stop them. So I think it should be a free run for creators. If you don't like the movie, don't watch it, or maybe make a counter movie. That should be the, I think, the way in the free society, in the open society.
Absolutely. I think that's a very forward-looking note on which we can end this conversation. I am afraid, Sudipta Da, we've completely run out of time. It was wonderful speaking to you on such a sensitive situation. I know that after your movie, The Kerala Story, you have also come out with a very engaging book, The Untold Kerala Story, which records and narrates several more cases which could not be taken in the movie. So more power to you. And Shantanu Gupta, thank you for discussing this whole subject in such a candid, such an honest manner. I am afraid that's all the time we have on this episode. Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Hounding of filmmakers, authors, creators has not been new in the country, but there is definitely a new trend where people are physically stopped from displaying their work. Movies which have already been cleared through all the relevant certificates are not allowed to be screened. But perhaps more sinister and dangerous than this physical disruption is the fact that there is an undeclared emergency in certain quarters, that these people are very silently targeted by not giving them work, by keeping them away by a cabal which thinks it runs the film and television industry. That, I suppose, is the real fight which will take much longer than the physical screening of a movie. On that note, viewers, it's a wrap up on Media Scan for this weekend. Do join us next weekend with another subject of national importance. Till then, namaskar.